And I think it'll be kind of a repeat of the demonetization. I think it's more of a fear in the market as opposed to actual a negative impact across the board. And of course, it'll take the time to adjust for companies to, basically apply the new rules. But I do think that overall it should be okay for the market. I don't think we'll see a correction or a major sell-off because of the implementation of the GST.
All right, Ankur, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for taking time out for us and joining in on the show this evening.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Okay, let's move on. Get your word in from Kotak AMC's Harsha Upadhyay, who says, just like Ankur did, that GST might be a reason for a little bit of a disruption in the short term, but nonetheless the long-term benefits will far outweigh perhaps the short-term pain. Gautam Chowcharya, meanwhile, seeing a lot of interest in mid-cap companies, and he says that's really where the multi-baggers will lie.
I think GST rollout is more or less in the prices today. I don't think there would be two significant moves around GST implementation. At least we don't foresee that. Yes, there could be some hiccups when you transition from one set of tax administration into another new regime. But overall, we don't see any major impact in terms of demand per se. Last 5 years, cement industry may have added capacity to the tune of 120 million tons, whereas the demand was only maybe about 30 or 40 million tons in terms of incremental demand.
That the rich evaluations might be here to stay, given the strong local flows, and therefore they're still trying to look for ideas to invest in this market. So we are seeing increasing interest in the housing related theme, including home improvement, mortgage finance, and property companies. And definitely in the property companies, etc., the interest level was much lower earlier, but it's picked up a bit. A few investors here and there, yes, trying to fish around for ideas in pharma. IT seems to us to be a nearly consensus negative underweight call, while we have turned tactically overweight over the last 3-4 months.
Okay, onwards, and let's get you an ET Now exclusive. Telecom companies straddled, we know, with over 4 lakh crore of debt, have been seeking policy intervention from the government in the form of lower spectrum user charges and the deferment of license fees. But the government first wants to be sure, and so it wants to assess if the situation is actually all that alarming, or has the crisis perhaps been exaggerated. In fact, the Telecom Ministry seems to also have a view on spectrum user charges, and Nayantara Rai is here with those exclusive details. Tell us, Nayantara, what's the view coming in from the Ministry?
Thanks for that. So what I do understand from my sources, and I'll be speaking to some senior members in the Department of Telecommunications, that the DoT doesn't seem to be very convinced about the need to rationalize spectrum usage charges as is being demanded by telecom operators. They believe they've been rationalizing it over a period of time, and it's not going to have a significant impact if, just because the telcos are asking and the government were to respond with the wish list. What the government does want to do is make sure that it doesn't preside over the death of the telecom sector, like you correctly pointed out. Loans of over a staggering 4 lakh crore rupees is what it does over various kind of lenders. So what the government wants to do is carry out a comprehensive analysis. So there has been an interministerial group led by the cabinet secretary that has been set up. It has reached out to every telecom player and asked for a whole bunch of financial details. Updated balance sheets. It wants to know the updated bottom line, top line, EBITDA, margin, etc. It also wants to know the current debt levels. And it doesn't just stop there. It wants the telcos to break up the debt and explain what has been raised domestically and what has been raised overseas. Obviously, the Indian government will not be very keen to step in and perhaps come to the rescue of the foreign lenders. It's more interested in addressing what has been raised domestically. Having said that, also the telcos have been asked to explain which bank has how much exposure. So those are the kind of details it's seeking from the telecom operators, and it wants all of that before the slew of meetings begin next week. If you recall, we at ET Now did say that on June 12th, this panel led by the Cabinet Secretary will be meeting all of the telecom players, be it Reliance Communications, Bharti Airtel, Vodafone, Idea, all of them will be meeting, and the government wants to have the complete financial picture beforehand. In fact, it's also sought some details in the business plans, the customer base, the kind of growth the customers have they've seen in customer base over a period of time, as well as average revenue per users. So in a nutshell, I understand that perhaps you're not going to see rationalization of the spectrum usage charge. Instead, expect a package that's going to help out both the telecom operators as well as the banks.
Right, Nayantara, thank you so much for that. With that, time to bring our viewers up to speed with all the political and national stories of the hour. And I'm going to, of course, cross over to my colleague Ruchi Bhatia and the farmer protest at boiling point, now spilling over to Rajasthan, Punjab as well, Ruchi?
Absolutely, Tanya. The farmer unrest in Madhya Pradesh is fast turning out to be a political hot potato for the Modi government, with the violence now spreading to Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, and the government is in damage control mode. In a big U-turn of sorts, the Madhya Pradesh government admitted that it was police firing that killed the 5 farmers, and even as it rushed rapid action force to Mandsaur, the epicenter of the farmer protest, the situation, however, continues to remain tense, and this as more than 60 people were arrested so far, and the curfew has been extended as a preventive measure. The blame game has begun, the opposition parties launching attacks on each other, and an all-out attack, of course, on the Bharatiya Janata Party as well, even as Rahul Gandhi got arrested in the day as he tried to enter Mandsaur, and Congress Vice President hit out at Prime Minister Modi, saying that his government is interested only in waiving off loans of the rich and famous and has no time for the poor peasants. And facing fire from the BJP, they are now, in fact, in a damage control mode. Union Minister Venkaiah Naidu, in fact, termed Rahul Gandhi's visit in Mandsaur as another photo opportunity, and the farmer protests and its impact on India's political landscape is, of course, the biggest national story today.
और जो आपके साथ हुआ है बिल्कुल गलत हुआ है, मैं आपकी पूरी मदद करूंगा। जो आपने शहीद की बात कही है, पूरा मैं आपकी मदद करूंगा, चाहे वो कॉम्पनसेशन की बात हो, जो भी हो आप बताइए, हम करने के लिए आपकी मदद पूरा दबाव डालेंगे। पिछले 3 साल में 1,10,000 करोड़ रुपया हिंदुस्तान के सबसे अमीर 50 लोगों का माफ किया गया है। ठीक है जी। ये मत कहिए कि भैया मालूम नहीं, सब मालूम है। किसान दिन भर काम करता है, उसका कर्जा कभी माफ नहीं होगा। बड़े बड़े बिजनेसमैन 50-60 हिंदुस्तान में जो हैं, उनका धनाधन कर्जा माफ होता जाएगा।
किसानों के प्रति हमारी सरकार पूरी तरह से संवेदनशील है। मैं भी गांव का रहने वाला हूं, मैं भी किसान का बेटा हूं और बराबर किसानों की समस्याओं को लेकर जिंदगी हमने संघर्ष किया है। हां, थोड़ी इस समय क्राइसिस पैदा हुई है और हमारी राज्य सरकारें, मध्य प्रदेश की भी और हमारे यहां के मुख्यमंत्री श्री देवेंद्र फडणवीस, दोनों पूरी संवेदनशीलता के साथ किसानों की समस्याओं का समाधान करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। मैं सभी किसान हूं, इसलिए किसान भाइयों से तहे दिल में अपील करना चाहता हूं कि हमारे इन मुख्यमंत्रियों को सहयोग करें, क्योंकि बहुत ही हमारे दोनों संवेदनशील मुख्यमंत्री हैं।
एक नहीं अनेकों फैसले अभी हमने किसानों के हितों के लिए लिए हैं। समस्या के समाधान के लिए बातचीत के माध्यम से मैं सदैव प्रस्तुत हूं। चर्चा करके समस्याओं का समाधान हो सकता है, लेकिन कुछ अराजक तत्व प्रदेश को हिंसा की आग में झोंकना चाहते हैं, उनसे हम सख्ती से निपटेंगे। उनके मंसूबे कामयाब न होने दें, शांति बहाली में सहयोग करेंगे।
हमारा कांग्रेस उपाध्यक्ष जब भी मौका मिलता है फोटो अपॉर्चुनिटी के लिए जाते हैं, हैदराबाद यूनिवर्सिटी में, जेएनयू में और बाद उत्तर प्रदेश में यही भी कोई घटना होता है वहां फोटो अपॉर्चुनिटी के लिए, बाद में कुछ करते भी नहीं है।
राहुल गांधी चाहते हैं ये हिंसा की जो श्रृंखला है ये बना रहे, परिस्थिति और बिगड़े, किसानों का नुकसान हो। इस प्रकार की एक षड्यंत्र के कारण राहुल गांधी इस पूरी हिंसक कांड का नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं।
फोटो अपॉर्चुनिटी में वहां के लोग उनको बुलाए हैं ना, कौन बुलाया पता नहीं, इन्हीं के लोगों ने बुलाया होगा। हाँ, या उनके जो सहयोगी हैं शरद पवार ऐसे लोग बुलाया होगा, मैं नहीं जानता। लेकिन इसकी देश भर में इसकी प्रतिष्ठा इतनी गिर गई है, जब ये यानी एक हल्के तरीके से भगवद गीता उपनिषद के बारे में बात की कि इसका फायदा मैं उठाऊंगा बीजेपी को जवाब देने के लिए, तो उससे तो अब इसका कोई अस्तित्व नहीं रहा.
I mean, this has to be properly investigated, and this sort of a brutal attack on peaceful farmers who are agitating on demands that the state government itself made, the central government itself promised. On them, if this is the sort of an attack, then you can understand the character of both the central and the state governments.
ये बिल्कुल किसान विरोधी सरकार है. ये सरकार को हटाना, सब विपक्षों को इकट्ठा होना, ये बहुत जरूरी है. हम कार्यक्रम करते हैं, हमारा दल पुरजोर मुखालिफ करता है.
As the protests hit the boiling point, what set Mandsaur on fire? We get you political reactions on that story. GVL Narasimha Rao of the BJP along with Sanjay Jha of the Congress in a chat with Supriya Srinath. That, of course, exclusive show coming up at 10 p.m. tonight. Meanwhile, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan announced a new liquor policy for the state. As for the new policy, liquor licenses will be provided only to 3-star hotels and above. Beer and wine license will also be allotted to the eligible hotels. Bar timings have also been changed from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and earlier they used to run from 9:30 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. at night. And liquor will now be available in domestic airports too. And legal age for drinking has been lifted from 21 to 23 years. Though the Chief Minister does not support complete ban on the policies, stringent policies have been imposed to curb addiction amongst youth. All right, those are the national stories. With that, it's back to you, Tanya.
Thanks so much for that, Ruchi. Well, we'll slip into a short break, but don't go anywhere because up ahead, the highlights of the explosive testimony by former FBI Director James Comey. He says, I kept records on Trump because I thought that he might lie. And he's confirmed that, yes, Russia did try to rig the 2016 election.
Heavy duty, long lasting, highest selling draw runners. Hetic telescopic channels for your draws. Load capacity 45 kg. Lifetime functional warranty. German quality. Indian price. Hetic fittings. German quality you can trust.
Be back soon.
If Carlsberg did trial rooms, they would probably be the best trial rooms in the world.
How does it look?
Perfect. But you know what we do. Carlsberg Club Glasses, probably the best in the world.
अगर कुछ इलीगल हो रहा है हमारे देश में तो हम उसका मुद्दा उठाएंगे अपने शोधा. We don't care about the politics, we don't care about the political parties, we don't care about anything else. How many women do not get the help they need when they are pregnant? That makes me ashamed. Any government comes on my show and says, we have sanctioned this much money. Whose money? Kiska paisa hai? What space will this government show the women of this country if this sort of behavior continues?
Tune in to the Urban Debate. Mirror now. You first.
Back in Smart Markets, and let's take a look at how global cues are shaping up, and actually lots to really keep your eye out on. Take a look at the Dow and the S&P. Well, not doing much because, of course, all eyes and ears are focused on the former FBI Director James Comey's, testimony before the Senate Intelligence Committee. Well, it has just begun, 30 minutes into it actually, and he has said that the reasons of why he was fired are quite confusing to him as well. He says the firing reasons have been plain, simple lies. At every step of the way, so far in his testimony, he's defended the FBI, saying the role that the Federal Bureau of Investigation plays is honest and independent. On Donald Trump, he says that Trump hadn't asked him to stop the Russia election probe, but at the same time, he says that he kept a record on Trump because he did think that he might lie.
On May the 9th, when I